Hello and welcome to Modern Comet. From time to time, people have always wondered how people lived in the past. Some archaeological discoveries got us thinking. How they have done that? These recent discoveries from last 2 decades have helped the scientists a lot. These are the short list of 10 amazing historical discoveries of last 20 years. Number 10. The oldest human hairs, from South Africa. For years, the oldest known human hairs came from a mummy buried 9,000 years ago. But a 2009 discovery would smash that record. That year, researchers in South Africa discovered human hairs that were up to 257,000 years old. Yeah, you heard me right. The reason they survived? You guessed it, poop. The hairs were discovered in fossilized hyena dung, evidence that our ancestors used to be on the menu. Up next. At 9. An early human skull in an unexpected place, Israel. In 2015, the journal Nature detailed a stunning discovery, a human skull, in a cave. But not just any skull. It was a 60,000-year-old specimen from Israel. Few human fossils have been found from that time period, especially from that region. The discovery lent more support to the out-of-Africa theory, the idea that modern humans originated in Africa and migrated outward toward Europe and Asia. Researchers speculated that the specimen could be closely related to the first modern humans who later successfully colonized Europe. And since then, even older evidence of modern humans has emerged, greatly expanding our knowledge of our own history. At 8. A 4,000-year-old board game, Azerbaijan. In 2018, archaeologists in Azerbaijan examined an unusual pattern chiseled into the stones of an ancient rock shelter. Upon further inspection, the researchers realized the carving was a 4,000-year-old example of the game of 58 holes. According to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the game was played as a race between 2 players, with game pieces in the form of pegs that were inserted into the holes making up each player's track. Next on our list. At 7. One of history's oldest beer recipes, from China. In 2016, archaeologists in China discovered pots and vessels for beer making, and analyzed the trace residues, successfully hacking a 5,000-year-old beer recipe. Broom-corn millet, barley, job's tears, and tubers were fermented together, according to the paper, published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The recipe showed that barley was being cultivated in China 1,000 years earlier than previously thought. This one is interesting. At number 6. The remains of a Roman villa, United Kingdom. In 2015, an English rug designer named Luke Irwin was trying to build a recreation space for his ping-pong-loving son. He hired contractors to install electricity in his Wiltshire barn, and as the workers began digging, they stumbled upon a bright blue and red mosaic floor, the remains of the Roman villa built around 200 CE. The mosaic was one of the best preserved samples ever discovered. That is just awesome. And, at number 5. A mammoth piece of architecture found on Russia. Ice Age hunter-gatherers aren't famous for their architecture skills, but perhaps they should be. In 2014, archaeologists excavated a 25,000-year-old structure in the dense forest, 300 miles south of Moscow. It was constructed with the bones of 60-plus woolly mammoths. The sheer number of bones that our Paleolithic ancestors had sourced from somewhere and brought to this particular location to build this monument is really quite staggering, archaeologists told the New York Times. Next on number 4. The lost bones of Richard III, United Kingdom. For centuries, historians believed the body of King Richard III of England would never be found. After he was killed at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485, Richard's corpse was buried at Church of the Grey Friars in Leicester, but over the next 5+ centuries of English history, the exact locations of the church and Richard's grave were lost. In 2004, a Richard III scholar named Philippa Langley was walking through a Leicester parking lot when she had an overwhelming sensation that she was standing atop Richard's grave. A 2012 excavation proved her right. Just imagine. What was the feeling of her? Up next. At 3. Quarries that supplied some of Stonehenge's rocks, place United Kingdom. Experts have long known that many of the famous blue stones of Stonehenge originated in Wales. But few were certain how the stones reached their final location 140 miles away. Some suggested they were transported by hand. Others argued they were carried by glaciers. In 2019, scientists found evidence of ancient quarries, conclusively showing that the blue stones had been transported by humans. Notice. Then, in 2020, An analysis of the sarsen stones, the more famous standing rocks, determined that 50 out of 52 of them could be traced to an area 15 miles north of the monument. The origin of the remaining 2 is still a mystery. Up next is an interesting one. At number 2. The origin of mysterious footprints from Italy. Italy's Ciampate del Diavolo is home to trails of mysterious footprints. Locals knew about them. For generations, folklore suggested they belonged to the devil, but it wasn't until 2001 that the scientific community was notified of the so-called Devil's Trail. Researchers quickly learned that they were some of the oldest human footprints in the world. Left by an early species of hominin, walking through volcanic ash, the prints are approximately 350,000 years old. Lastly, at number 1. The world's oldest known examples of storytelling discovered in Indonesia. The beautiful and sophisticated cave paintings of Lascaux and Chauvet, the latter of which was created about 30,000 years ago by Paleolithic artists, might get all the fame. But in 2019, a paper in Nature revealed that a team of archaeologists on the island of Sulawesi had stumbled across cave paintings that were much older. The artwork not only showed human-like figures and wild pigs and cows, but may display a complete story in which the human figures were pursuing the animals for food. The paintings were made at least 43,900 years ago. In 2021, drawings dated to at least 45,000 years ago were located in a nearby cave. So, if you liked the video so far, please support the Modern Comet channel by subscribing it and like this video. Thank you.